for somebody who might be dealing with anxiety right now, what might be steps, the first couple of steps they need to do to kind of get awareness and control over this negative loop?
I think that's a great question. One helpful piece of information is to see how you're talking about this fear mechanism that drives this fight or flight response. That's about fear, but anxiety is about fear of the future. So we're not actually in danger right now when we're worrying about the future. And it's just helpful to know that, because often people think, oh, isn't anxiety helpful? No, it's not. It, like you're saying, it is pro-inflammatory for sure. And it's anti-thinking and planning for sure. It makes our thinking and planning part of the brain go offline. So if you're mixing a clear and present danger, like fear in the present moment, with the brain looking into the future, and then when you mix those two together, you get anxiety, and that's problematic. So the way to work with it is, from a mechanistic perspective, is to actually target the habitual behavior. So for example, my lab has been studying habit change for several decades. And we started looking at smoking cessation, for example, as one of the hardest habits for people to quit. I'd done some work with alcohol and cocaine use disorders, and found that training people in mindfulness was helpful, as helpful actually as gold standard for preventing relapse. But then went to look to see, could we use this awareness training as a primary mode of behavior change for helping people quit smoking. Mm-hmm. In our first study, we actually got 5 times the quit rates of gold standard treatment. Mm. And we could go on and look at the mechanism and figure out how it worked. And what we found was that it's, if you go back to these equations from the 1970s, that habit change is all about one thing. It's about reward value. And so if our brain lays down a reward, that something is rewarding, the only way to get ourselves to change that behavior is not through willpower. Willpower is more myth than muscle, but through changing that reward value. And it's not about convincing ourselves. It's about really seeing clearly how rewarding the behavior is for us right now.
I hope you enjoyed that episode of the Thrive State podcast. And if this podcast is bringing a lot of value to you, if you find that your life is just improving with this podcast, that your life is getting to the next level, please consider supporting it. And here's a few ways you can do so. You can do so by liking this video and commenting on this video, and also sharing this video with your friends and family. Another thing you can do is go to ratethispodcast.com/ThriveState. Go ahead and leave us a 5-star review there. It will really, really help this show grow. And this will give me more time so that I could actually give more content to you, just like you got in this episode. And if you haven't already picked up a copy of my book, Thrive State, Your Blueprint for Optimal Health, Longevity, and Peak Performance, you can pick it up now. It became a #1 new release in longevity. Go to thrivestatebook.com. And if you enjoy the book, please consider leaving us a review as well. And the last thing you can do, if you're liking everything here and you want to work more closely with me as well as my team to get you into the Thrive State, go to kienvu.com/accelerator and consider joining the home course, the Thrive State Accelerator. It's really the course that I use. It's the concepts that I use personally when I work with CEOs, celebrities, and my high-profile clients to get them to the Thrive State. Again, the Thrive State Accelerator at kienvu.com/accelerator. And because you're a listener of this podcast, I want you to save 25% by using the coupon code podcast25. I hope we continue to give value to you. And remember always, you are your best medicine.